A very warm welcome to IDFC FIRST Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. I'm Ritwika Gupta. Tonight we'll be presenting key highlights from our Ahmedabad Springboard Part 1. In the first segment, talking about Ahmedabad's immense potential, we have a keynote by Anto Alan, Business Head, Business Banking and Agri, IDFC FIRST Bank. And in the second segment, I shall be in a fireside chat with Dr. Sunil R, Parekh, Industry Veteran Founding Curator, AGS at WEF Geneva.
Known for its vibrant culture and historic landmarks, Ahmedabad is rapidly establishing itself as a key player in India's industrial and startup landscape, driving Gujarat's economic growth.
I love about this place is Atal Bridge, riverfront and foods. This is Gujarat, we love food. As a non-Gujarati, I can say that Gujaratis are business-minded. They are absolutely best in business.
What I particularly liked is how people are trying to revive the historical aspects of the city, and a lot of institutions that are here as well. You have NID, you have IIM, the top institutions in the country are here.
From industrial corridors to futuristic developments like Gift City and India's first greenfield smart city, Dholera, Ahmedabad is emerging as a major hub of innovation and opportunities.
Ahmedabad is famous for its food, heritage, cultural heritage, innovation, architecture, infrastructure and everything. Ahmedabad is a place of businesses, basically is a hub for business.
अहमदाबाद में बिजनेस का ग्रोथ बहुत बढ़िया है। मेरे ख्याल से अहमदाबाद में अभी तो टूरिज्म सेक्टर है, टेक्सटाइल्स इंडस्ट्री है जो काफ़ी ग्रोथ हो सकते हैं।
With strong policy support and a business-minded approach, Ahmedabad is stepping into a new era of transformation and shaping the next chapter of Gujarat's growth story.
On behalf of IDFC FIRST Bank, I take great pleasure in welcoming all of you for this August gathering here for this event. My name is Anto, and I take care of business banking and agri for IDFC FIRST Bank. Today, we thought we'll share a few pointers on the vibrancy of the entrepreneurial ecosystem which is there in Ahmedabad. And from IDFC FIRST Bank, what are the offerings that we have which can help partner and nourish this vibrant ecosystem that is present in Ahmedabad. First and foremost, the vibrancy of the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So why are we saying that it's a critical part and it's a vibrant ecosystem at a level? Last year, we had about 7.3 billion of FDI flowing into Ahmedabad, making it the second largest state of FDI inflows coming in, which is an impressive 55% growth over the previous year. And this is like the second highest state in the country after Maharashtra. It contributes to about 16% of the total FDI inflows come in. The second thing is about the kind of merchandise exports which is there in Gujarat as a state. At 96 billion, it contributes to about 26% of the total merchandise exports in the country. Thirdly, the developments which has happened around Gift City. Now, what was a little abstract idea which started out in 2020, which came out with about $16 billion of balance sheet, has now grown to a staggering $78 billion balance sheet. It's becoming a financial powerhouse more on the likes of, let's say, Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong. It's on its way to become a very powerful financial powerhouse. If you look at the total volume of cargo which is handled out of the Gujarat port, there are 40% of the country's cargo gets handled out of the port. If you look at the industries which is present, this is why it's not only focused on one particular industry, right? So it's a wide variety of industries which is based out of Gujarat. Chemicals, if you take chemicals and petrochemicals put together, 35% of the chemicals of this country gets manufactured out of Gujarat. It contributes to at least 31% of the total exports of chemicals and petrochemicals which happens out of Gujarat. Pharma has been a stronghold here. If you look at it of the medical device industries which is there, 53% of the medical devices gets manufactured here. Then the traditional powerhouses, which is your textile, diamond, 90% of all diamonds get cut out of Gujarat. It employs a significant It provides employment to a significant set of people. Also, in terms of textiles, it's 1/3 of the country's textile gets exported out of Gujarat. It has also emerged as a very good automobile hub. Today, about 8 lakh vehicles gets manufactured out of here. Be it major investments which is happening, like the Dholera project which is there, the Gift City which is there, the EV vehicle manufacturing hub which is later to come. There are very large investments which is happening out of the place, the semiconductor investments which is supposed to come. Coupled to the fact that availability of a very good talent pool. India's most premier management agency, management education institute is based out of Gujarat, based out of Ahmedabad. We have the IITs based out of here. Coupled with the fact that there is a vibrant investment which is happening in multiple projects here, makes it a very powerful ecosystem for entrepreneurship. I would like to touch upon a few facts or a few offerings as to what we as IDFC FIRST Bank can do. Before I start, I would like to introduce ourselves. We are a bank which was founded in about 2016. That's when we came into existence. Then in 2018, we had a merger with Capital First, so we became IDFC FIRST Bank in 2018. And 2018, when we did that, we were largely, when we initially started up, we were largely a wholesale bank. Also in this short period, we are one of the banks which has touched about a 1,50,000 crore of CASA base. And if you see the CASA mix, which is from a sub 10% ratio on CASA, we are upwards of 45% in terms of the CASA deposit ratio, which is a measure of the low cost funds which is there. So that's the kind of growth, thanks to a lot of customers who have blessed us in our journey there. I think we have been able to reach that kind of growth. We have, as an organization, we believe that we are building a world-class bank with a motto of guided by ethics and powered by tech, and also present and exist for the social good. So there are multiple areas in our product suite that we always come as a challenger. We were one of the first to introduce monthly savings rate on the savings account product. On the current account, when we were discussing with entrepreneurs, one of the things was that, look, my money is lying idle in the current account. Can it earn some interest for me like the way it earns in a savings account? So we came with a Bravo future, which talks about anything about 2 lakhs gets swept into an FD, and you earn interest on that. We were also one of the first players in the industry to disrupt the credit card market, for instance. We are the first ones to link it to your credit score. So today, our APR starts anywhere between 10%. If you have a good credit score, then it gets linked to your credit score, and APR starts anywhere at 10%, which was unheard of earlier. We are also one of the first to introduce that cash is part of your overall available limit. Therefore, we give up to 48 days of interest-free credit. It is part of that interest cycle that you are allowed to use your free limits. In fact, in every product that we launch, one of the key features that we look for is that what is it that we can be of benefit to the client, and what is that feature that we can look at which will add value to the client. When it comes to entrepreneurs and startups and MSMEs, we look at it in 2 stages. One is early stage startups, other is growth stage startups. In early stage startups, some of the offerings that we have is in terms of a current account with no zero balance requirement, which is there for 3 years. We have a very fully digital stack enabled current account, which allows you to operate multiple operations seamlessly. We also have futures. See, one of the things that we also go beyond banking. We sincerely believe that, look, you're focused on building your businesses, and therefore there are a lot of associated costs which come with it. There's a payroll, there is tax consultancy, there is ERP system. So we kind of tie up with lot of these companies, lot of these tech solution providers, and we go beyond banking in terms of providing you very attractive offers in multiple bundles like this. So these are multiple things which is available there. One of the key things which has found a lot of, has been welcomed with a lot of startups is a founder success program. One of it is to talk about we as a banker in the banking system, what we can do. But we also saw that a lot of entrepreneurs look forward to people who have been there, done it, and then learn from their story as well, because there's a lot of things in the journey with people would like to mentor. So we also have something called an Investor Connect program, where on the equity side, we connect to a lot of, we partner with a lot of VCs in the country. One other critical thing, which a lot of people in the fintech space have really benefited is that we offer an API bundle. We offer a sandbox environment for people to test out their solutions. So we have a full stack starting from your current account to retail solutions, to a full stack internet banking, to working capital solutions, to a very, very advanced state-of-the-art TFX solution. We have an online portal where we can both book rates, you can do an entire set of transactions online. Today, the bigger thing is that make in India for the world, right? And that's what we're seeing a lot of startups do. So we are seeing a lot of startups taking wings abroad and also money coming in. There's a lot of interest in funds which is based out coming and putting in money into startups here. So we have a dedicated FEMA board which helps you navigate all this regulatory condition which is there. We have a regulatory advisory desk dedicated for guiding you through FEMA regulations, which is of late taken a lot of traction because a lot of people find this regulatory advice very useful to them. Our entire team on Ahmedabad is kind of based out of here. So we would look forward to connect with you and see what we can do to take it forward. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for this.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to IDFC FIRST Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. Tonight you're watching the big highlights from our Ahmedabad Springboard Part 1. In this segment, we're going to take you on a journey covering Gujarat and Ahmedabad's strong legacy of entrepreneurship. In this very special fireside chat, I'll be in conversation with Dr. Sunil R. Parekh, Industry Veteran Founding Curator, AGS at World Economic Forum, Geneva. Thank you, Dr. Sunil, once again for joining us. And, as you must have heard the discussion earlier. So before we get to talking about Ahmedabad as a city, I want to just talk broadly about Gujarat. So Gujarat, as I just mentioned, it has a strong legacy of entrepreneurship. If you could just, take us through the journey, how, it evolved to become a business powerhouse.
First of all, thanks for having me. And this is a topic of great interest, the history of Gujarat. And I think every Gujarati is very proud of it. 2,500 varas pehla, that is in the time of Lothal and Dholavira, Gujarat used to actually trade with Mesopotamia and Rome. And they used to export goods like indigo from Kutch, millets, and a variety of ceramics and so on and so forth. Okay, there was a guy from Birji Vora from Surat who used to trade along with a guy called Abdul Ghaffar from Surat. Each one of them individually used to trade, Ritwika, more than the entire East India Company during the time of the British rule.
Wow.
So this Gujarat has had a long tradition of this. Coming closer, since independence, rather since creation, 1960, Gujarat became independent of Maharashtra and became independent. And at that time, cotton trading and cotton mills were all located between Gujarat and Bombay and Maharashtra, but it was one state. Now, when they got separated, a lot of these industries actually moved to Gujarat because the separation was on linguistic grounds, part of the constitutional arrangement. And as a result, they started with cotton mills, and then from there we discovered oil in an oil field near Koyali and a few other places in Ankleshwar and other places. And that gave birth to the oil and the oil refineries. From that came the petrochemicals, giving benzene and solvents and so many basic organic chemicals that gave birth also to the APIs of pharmaceuticals. There was telecom industry, there was agro-processing industry, and there was gems and jewelry. And therefore, I think it is very proper to mention today that Gujarat is the state with the highest amount of industrial investment in the country, and the state with the highest industrial turnover in the country. And it's a matter of pride when we say that more than 12 sectors of manufactured items are exceeding the 10% contribution to national production, and 3 sectors of Gujarat contribute to more than 40% of India's national production. It's a very good story.
No, absolutely. And from Gujarat, let's zoom in a little bit to Ahmedabad as well. And since you also spoke about a legacy business, I want to understand your opinion also on the emerging businesses, startups and MSMEs, because like we all discussed earlier as well, Ahmedabad, from a textile mill, to now an industrial hub to an entrepreneurial ecosystem. What sort of opportunities do you see here for emerging businesses?
Today we have about 13,200 startups, And 45% of them are in Gujarat, close to 5,000. And these are all registered with all details on the Udyam website of the Government of India, which is a very standard record that we have. We are the fourth largest in terms of the population of startups in Gujarat. We also have institutions that are mandated to help nurture the innovative ideas that are created within the Gujarat system. One of the important institutions here is iCreate, created when Mr. Modi was Chief Minister, and now Mr. Anand Mahindra is leading it. And I think some very good stories will come out of this within the next 2-3 years. Now, if you look at the MSMEs, the other part of the question that you've raised, Gujarat has between 12 to 13 lakh MSMEs today. And shockingly, when I looked at the figures, every year Gujarat adds about 2 to 3 lakh MSMEs as new registrations. And these startups and these MSMEs actually are leading the way in terms of job creation, in terms of spreading investments and development into the interiors of the state.
Absolutely. Now, when we talk about the business climate, there are several factors that are shaping Ahmedabad's business climate as well, whether it is globalization, technology, or policy shifts. Tell me, where do you see the biggest opportunities?
Now, today, Gujarat, for example, has an advantage where there are industry sectors where there were heavy investments. It required land development, electricity, roads, and energy systems, and ports. Gujarat has done very well. It is the most industrialized state now. Now, the opportunities when you look forward to it is now that Gujarat now has to go to the next level. Today, we have $300 billion worth of turnover in existing industries. These industries are growing between 12 to 15% per year, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, all that. That means $30 to $50 billion worth of manufactured goods are going to be created every year across Gujarat. Now, this is a very big investment. So Gujarat is really poised both for startups and innovations as well as in traditional industries.
Fantastic. We spoke about the opportunities. On the flip side, what are the biggest challenges that need to be tackled?
Gujarat has been very good in the traditional industries, but it is lacking in one very big area, and that is the knowledge industries. Existing industries need to do the value addition. In the World Bank report of last time, the development report, they have talked about what is called the middle income trap. It's a country that is doing very well in terms of the factor aspects. So you have land, building, electricity, power, and everything, and manpower, and you are doing well. Now, when the world is changing and these people are very confident because they are making very good profits, they don't look at tomorrow. And this is one of the very big challenges Gujarat is facing, that we need to now create our own intellectual property, invest heavily into 6 to 8% of the turnover in R&D, create new products, globalize, and start developing and competing globally. The other very big challenge that we have in Gujarat is value addition. We are very big in textiles, but when we say textiles, we have got cotton production, we make fibers, and we make cloth. But if you want to make clothes, you have to go to the south and to the north. So we don't complete the value chain in terms of building from the raw material to the finished product. And so there are many aspects of this development that are not, that need to be looked at very critically in order to make sure that the next leap takes place in innovative products, in new products, and in a manner that is linking the old and the new and driving it forward, because I don't think we can do much more of the old and hope that we'll be part of the future.
Absolutely. We started this conversation by talking about a lot of legacy companies and legacy entrepreneurs, right? So I want to ask you, what do you think, because our show is watched by a lot of young entrepreneurs as well, what can emerging businesses learn from established players, in terms of how they can really carry forward the same legacy that they have established in the state of Gujarat?
To my mind, there is only one big lesson that the small ones must learn from the legacy businesses. If you look at Nirma, you look at Zydus, you look at Torrent, they have never made losses. It's a fundamental cardinal rule of old companies as they have grown bigger to grow on the basis of their own strength. The new companies, they're all making losses. They just keep funding and funding, they get valuations and they get money. They don't create value. And I think that's one very big lesson that even the young startups must chase, that not valuation but values. Large companies in India, manufacturing companies, are protected from imports by both the exchange rate and the tariff, because $100 of goods get multiplied by the exchange rate and the customs duty to get the landed duty. Both these have protected. Your dollar to rupee was 30 rupees and now it has gone to 85 rupees. It's almost 3 times. That's a 300% protection against importation. On top of it, we have a duty of 10 to 15%, etc., etc. Very protected. But the lesson for the new businesses, don't seek protection. Learn to compete in the open market from day one. When you do that, the chances of you scaling up and growing are the best because you are ready from day one without protection with everything. Be ready, be open to competition. It's the secret to innovation.
Fantastic, and I think those were some very important pearls of wisdom. But tell me, how can the government, industry stakeholders, policymakers, how can they all contribute to, not just Ahmedabad playing a role in the state of Gujarat, but also in India, in India's growth story?
I think policy and projects are two very important dimensions of economic development and growth. Example from Gujarat is we have a drone policy, EV policy, hydrogen policy, solar policy, apparel policy, all focusing attention on emerging areas. Projects are also very important. I think Dholera SIR is going to be a dream, really. If you see the planning of the gift city, it has its own authority. Once it takes off, with his own airport, his own housing, his education, his health project, its green city, its transportation, his mobility, it is going to be a wow place, And therefore, this entire exercise of policy projects is extremely important.
Absolutely. And finally, sir, just wrapping up this very, very insightful conversation of ours, the $1 trillion vision and ambition. Tell me, how is Ahmedabad going to achieve that or play a role in achieving that?
See, Viksit Bharat is a reality. I think we are all heading towards it. 2047, we are going to be Viksit. The definition of Viksit is that the per capita income, according to the World Bank, each one of us, on an average, GDP divided by the population, should be equal to $12,000 per head. Right now, Gujarat is at $4,500. Now, what is our GDP today? It is about $330 billion. 330 has to go to, multiply by 12,000 people into 7 crores or 8 crores. It's about $1 trillion. So 330 billion has to become 3 times in roughly about 10 years' time. So this gives you an average growth rate of 12% per year. Gujarat has been growing at 12 to 13% per year. So to my mind, I have absolutely no doubt, judging from the back trajectory and the fact that Gujarat has a plan, a blueprint to go to a $1 trillion plan, with not only the stated pillars of development, but as well as the agenda for development against the 3 pillars. And these 3 pillars are very interesting. The first is about empowering people. And that means health, education, skill development, all are included under the issue of empowering people and delivering them. The second pillar that they have developed is on thriving economy. And the third pillar is what they call enabling governance. Because, and creating vibrant cities which become the anchor and the magnet to attract the industries of the future. So these are the 3 pillars on which we are going from 330 to $1 trillion in 10 years' time. Yeah.
Fantastic. On that very bullish note, thank you so much. This was a wonderful, wonderful conversation. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Sunil. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC FIRST Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.